Yeah. 93 billion light years. I mean, can you even picture that?
It's truly mind-boggling, isn't it? The sheer scale.
Right. And yet, when you look out there, or even just think about it, there seems to be some kind of order, a pattern.
A structure, yeah.
Yeah.
A kind of cosmic choreography almost.
Yeah.
It's something humans have wondered about for forever. basically.
Exactly. Which leads to that big question, doesn't it? Could there be something more behind it all, a kind of cosmic intelligence?
That's the core of it. It's this deep human need to find meaning, to see if there's a guiding hand maybe. And, this isn't a new idea, not at all.
Far from it. It's something philosophers, spiritual traditions, cultures across the globe have wrestled with for centuries.
Different names, different concepts, but often pointing towards a similar feeling or idea.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to explore this cosmic intelligence idea from, well, all sorts of angles, historical, spiritual, even touching on some science.
Uses the sources we've gathered,
Yeah.
trying to get to the heart of it.
And the goal, as always, is to pull out the key stuff for you, give you a solid understanding without, getting lost in the weeds. So, okay, let's start basic. Cosmic intelligence. What are we actually talking about?
Well, at its root, it's the idea that intelligence isn't just like biological brains on Earth.
Not just us.
Not just us. It's the possibility of some kind of awareness or organizing principle or inherent wisdom that exists throughout the cosmos.
In stars, galaxies, the whole structure.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
In the very fabric of the universe itself. That's the grand vision, anyway.
And people have called this different things over time, right?
Oh, definitely. You hear cosmic mind, which sounds like a universal thinking process,
Yeah.
or universal consciousness,
Mhm.
suggesting this awareness that connects everything.
Like everything's part of one big consciousness.
Sort of, yeah. And then you have terms like supreme consciousness or divine intelligence,
Mhm.
which often lean more towards a spiritual or godlike interpretation, a higher power guiding things.
It's fascinating how widespread this was, even in ancient times. Where do we see the earliest hints of this?
Well, take ancient India, for example.
Hmm.
The Vedas and Upanishads talk about Brahma.
Brahma.
Yeah, not just a creator god, but more like this omnipresent consciousness, the ultimate reality behind everything. And crucially, the idea was that you connect with it internally.
Internally.
Through practices like yoga and meditation, they were seen as ways to quiet the mind and directly experience this universal self, this cosmic intelligence within you.
So looking inward, not just outward. Interesting. What about, say, ancient Greece? Big thinkers there.
Absolutely. You have Plato, who came up with the world mind.
The world mind. Sounds grand.
It was. He saw it as this higher intelligence that sort of designed the universe, the source of all the perfect forms and order we see or glimpse in the physical world.
Like the master blueprint.
Exactly. And then his student, Aristotle, had a related but slightly different idea. He talked about the first mover. He argued there must be something that started all the motion and change of the universe, but wasn't itself set in motion by anything else.
Like the ultimate domino pusher.
Kind of, yeah. A stable prime force. He didn't call it cosmic intelligence, but this concept of an original driving principle definitely echoes the idea.
Searching for that ultimate source. Okay, let's jump over to ancient Egypt. Did they have similar notions?
They did, often personified in their deities. Think of Thoth.
The god with the ibis head, god of wisdom.
That's the one. Thoth was seen as embodying divine knowledge, holding the universe's secrets, maintaining cosmic balance. Essentially, the universe's intelligence made manifest.
So intelligence as a divine attribute keeping order makes sense. And ancient China. Taoism comes to mind.
Yes, the Tao. Often translated as the way. It's not really a god, more like a fundamental impersonal force or principle that flows through everything, guiding the natural world.
Like the rhythm of nature.
Exactly. The cycles of seasons, the flow of water, that's the Tao in action. It's about seeing and aligning with this inherent cosmic order.
It feels less about a mind and more about a fundamental pattern or flow.
That's a good way to put it. And it wasn't just these huge civilizations either.
Yeah.
Indigenous cultures worldwide often have deep traditions about a sacred, intelligent power woven into everything.
Like a great spirit concept?
Often, yes, or similar ideas. They see intelligence in the animals, the plants, the weather. It's all part of this interconnected, living, guided cosmos. The balance of nature reflects this intelligence.
It's truly amazing, this thread running through so many different people, so much time. So bringing it more to the present, how do spiritual and philosophical viewpoints today grapple with cosmic intelligence?
Spiritually, it's often framed as, well, God, or a divine consciousness that connects all beings. It's that sense of unity, of being part of something vastly bigger than just your individual self.
A source of connection.
Yes. Philosophically, it's often seen more as a guiding force, maybe not personal, but something that gives the universe direction and perhaps helps us find meaning within it.
You mentioned existentialism earlier. How does that fit? They seem very focused on the individual.
They are, very much so. Existentialism stresses individual freedom, creating your own meaning. But you could see cosmic intelligence as maybe the background context for that freedom, not dictating your meaning, but perhaps offering a sense of fundamental grounding or possibility within which you make your choices.
So it doesn't remove responsibility, but maybe adds a layer of context.
Perhaps. It's one interpretation.
Yeah.
Then you have philosophies like Advaita Vedanta from India.
Right, you mentioned that with Brahma. What's
Okay.
the core idea there again?
It's all about non-duality.
Mm.
The idea that everything, despite appearances, is ultimately one single interconnected reality, Brahman.
And Brahman is like cosmic intelligence.
It can be understood that way, yes.
Yeah.
And the key insight of Advaita Vedanta is that your individual self, your Atman, is actually identical to Brahman. Deep down, you are that universal consciousness,
Whoa, okay. That's a profound thought. Everything is one.
deeply interconnected, yeah. So that's the philosophical and spiritual side. But what about science? Can science say anything here?
That's the big question, isn't it? We know there's no, definitive lab test for cosmic intelligence.
Exactly. We have to be really clear about separating scientific evidence from, say, philosophical interpretation or spiritual belief.
Right.
But there are areas in science that resonate with these ideas, or where people draw interesting parallels. Quantum physics is a big one.
Ah, yes. The land of the very small and very strange. How does quantum weirdness connect to cosmic intelligence?
Well, some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest the universe is fundamentally interconnected, like a giant web.
How so?
Take quantum entanglement.
Okay, refresh my memory on that. Spooky action at a distance.
That's the famous phrase. It's where two particles become linked, and whatever happens to one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. Light years, even.
Instantly. Faster than light.
Seemingly, yes. Which is weird. Now, this doesn't prove cosmic intelligence, but it does challenge our everyday notion that things are truly separate. It points to a kind of underlying oneness or connectedness that could be, let's say, a prerequisite for a universal intelligence.
A fundamental connection woven into reality. Okay, what else from the quantum world? Superposition.
Right. Quantum superposition. The idea that a particle can be in multiple states or places at once until you measure it.
Like being both heads and tails until the coin lands.
Exactly like that. It exists in a steady possibility. Then, when observed, it chooses a definite state. Some people interpret this uncertainty and apparent choice at the quantum level as maybe reflecting some fundamental decision-making capacity in the universe itself.
A cosmic maybe.
Sort of. Again, it's an interpretation linking the potentiality in quantum mechanics to the potential actions or decisions of a cosmic intelligence.
Very speculative, but interesting. And quantum tunneling.
That's where a particle can pass through a barrier it shouldn't have enough energy to overcome. Like walking through a wall.
Which shouldn't happen.
According to classical physics, no. Some draw an analogy here to how a cosmic intelligence might achieve things that seem impossible by our usual rules, operating on a deeper level.
Bending the rules. And then there's the idea connecting consciousness itself to quantum mechanics.
Yes, the hypothesis that consciousness might actually be a quantum phenomenon, perhaps arising from quantum processes in the brain. If that turned out to be true, well, that could imply a much deeper link between our minds and the quantum fabric of the universe.
Potentially connecting us to a larger quantum intelligence.
That's the leap some people make. But, and this is crucial, these are interpretations and hypotheses. Fascinating ones, but not established scientific fact. We're exploring parallels, not proof.
Got it. Important distinction. Okay, moving away from the quantum realm. What about those big mysteries? Dark matter and dark energy, they make up most of the universe, right?
They do, about 95% combined. Dark matter, making up around 27%, is invisible, but its gravity holds galaxies together. Some have used the metaphor of a cosmic brain for its structuring role.
An invisible scaffolding for the cosmos.
Yeah, And dark energy, about 68%, is the force accelerating the universe's expansion. It's been likened to a cosmic energy pushing everything apart.
So these dominant, mysterious components, people wonder if they're linked to cosmic intelligence.
Well, because they're so fundamental and so poorly understood, they naturally invite speculation. Could they be aspects of or governed by some overarching intelligence? Science is still trying to figure out what they even are, so it's wide open to interpretation right now.
More profound questions sparked by cosmic unknowns. Okay, let's bring it closer to home, our own brains. Neuroscience. Any connections there?
Neuroscience studies the brain, consciousness, thought. There's a speculative idea that maybe our neurons, our brain cells, are sensitive to more than just standard electrochemical signal.
Hey, like they could pick up cosmic vibes.
Well, maybe something like subtle cosmic energies. It's very hypothetical, but it imagines our brains as potential receivers for connecting with a broader intelligence.
Or as brains as antennas.
In a sense.
Yeah.
And we do see interesting things happening in the brain during practices like meditation.
Right, you mentioned that earlier. What does the research show?
Studies show meditation can increase activity in brain areas linked to focus, attention, self-awareness, decision-making. Some research even suggests it might increase gray matter density, actual physical changes.
Wow, so it physically changes the brain?
Potentially, yes, with regular practice. And it's known to lower stress hormones like cortisol. People often report feeling deep peace, connection, even bliss during meditation.
Which some interpret as
Potentially connecting with something larger, maybe cosmic intelligence. The idea is that by quieting the internal noise, you become more receptive.
And the thought that maybe our own consciousness isn't just in our heads, but part of this bigger cosmic thing.
That's a key perspective for many, that individual consciousness is like a wave on the ocean of cosmic consciousness. And the brain is the tool, the interface, that allows us to experience it and interact with the world.
A beautiful way to think about it. Okay, zooming back out. Astronomy, astrophysics, astrobiology, looking at the universe at large. How do they fit in?
Astronomy, just by showing us the sheer scale and, frankly, beauty of the cosmos, naturally sparks wonder about a possible designer or guiding force.
The wow factor.
Definitely. Astrophysics studies the laws, gravity, electromagnetism, how stars work, how galaxies form. Finding such consistent, intricate laws can lead some to see evidence of a plan, a cosmic intelligence setting the rules.
The physics itself seems intelligent, in a way.
To some, yes. And then astrobiology, the search for life elsewhere.
That feels very relevant.
Hugely. If we found life, especially complex life, elsewhere, it would fuel the idea that life isn't just a fluke on Earth. Maybe the universe is inherently geared towards producing life, perhaps under the guidance of cosmic intelligence.
Or that life itself is an expression of cosmic intelligence.
That too. And even the question of how life started here on Earth is so profound, some see it as pointing towards an intelligent origin or catalyst.
So finding ET could have massive implications for this idea. Now, a very modern field. Artificial intelligence, AI. How on earth does AI connect to cosmic intelligence?
Well, it's mostly theoretical right now, but intriguing. One idea is that by trying to build intelligence, we might learn fundamental things about what intelligence is, which could give us clues about cosmic intelligence.
Learning about intelligence by creating it.
Right. Some even imagine creating AI based on principles we think cosmic intelligence might use, though that's very speculative.
Building a cosmic AI.
Sort of. More practically, AI is already being used to analyze huge amounts of astronomical data, looking for patterns we might miss.
Finding hidden signals.
Potentially. And way down the line, some even imagine using AI to help us communicate with cosmic intelligence. If it exists and if it sends signals we could decode. But again, we're deep into speculation here.
Very sci-fi, but fascinating possibilities. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Assuming for a moment this connection is possible, what are the benefits people report? Why try to connect?
People who feel they have connected often talk about really significant life changes. More happiness, definitely more inner peace.
Less stress and anxiety.
Yeah, a big reduction in that. Often replaced by a kind of deep calm. We mentioned meditation and nature already. Those are common pathways.
Right.
Beyond just feeling better, it's often linked to finding a clearer sense of purpose in life. Understanding your place in the grand scheme of things.
Sense of meaning.
Exactly. And some report better relationships, more creativity, like they're tapping into a deeper source. Overall, it's often described as becoming more aware, more compassionate, more responsible.
Sounds transformative. So if someone wants to try and cultivate this connection, what are the practical ways? You've mentioned meditation and yoga.
Those are key ones, yes. Meditation helps quiet the mental chatter, allowing that deeper connection to surface. It's about becoming aware of your inner consciousness, which is seen as part of that cosmic energy.
Creating inner space.
Precisely. And yoga works on integrating body, mind, and spirit. The postures and breathing help gain control and focus, making it easier to access those deeper states. Some traditions talk about Kundalini awakening, activating spiritual energy, as a path to experiencing cosmic intelligence directly.
Harmonizing the whole self. What else?
Other spiritual practices can help. Things like contemplation, deep thinking on a subject, or chanting mantras can bring peace. Prayer fosters faith. Reading spiritual texts offers knowledge and perspective. And even simple acts of service, helping others, can cultivate compassion and reduce ego, which is often seen as a barrier to connection.
Getting outside yourself and nature.
Definitely. Spending time in nature, walking by the sea, hiking, even just appreciating a flower or a sunset. It fosters that sense of interconnectedness and calm. It makes it easier to feel part of something bigger.
That sense of awe again.
Yes. And stargazing too. Looking up at the vastness really puts things in perspective, reduces stress, sparks those big questions about purpose.
It's humbling. What about our own attitude? Does mindset matter?
Absolutely. Positive thinking is often seen as strengthening the connection, like tuning into the right frequency. Confidence in your own inner power, seen as a reflection of cosmic intelligence, is also important.
Believing in the connection helps create it.
In a way, yes. Some people even report more intense experiences like sensing a cosmic consciousness or having out-of-body experiences like astral travel, though that's less common. The core aim is usually inner balance, peace, contentment.
So it involves being mindful of thoughts, emotions, taking care of yourself.
Yes, practicing empathy, learning from mistakes, forgiveness, gratitude. It's all part of cultivating that calm, balanced mind, which is seen as more receptive.
It sounds like a whole way of life, really. But let's be balanced. This concept isn't universally accepted. What are the main criticisms?
You're right, there's significant skepticism. The biggest criticism, from a scientific viewpoint, is the lack of concrete, testable evidence.
It can't be proven in a lab.
Exactly. Critics say it's purely imaginative, maybe philosophical or spiritual, but not scientific. Science deals with the measurable, the observable, and cosmic intelligence doesn't fit that easily.
So it belongs in the realm of belief, not science, for the critics.
Pretty much. Another issue raised is its vagueness. What is cosmic intelligence, really? The definitions vary so much it's hard to pin down, leading to confusion and subjective interpretations.
Everyone has their own idea of it.
Right. And there's also concern that relying too heavily on a vague notion of the universe providing could make people passive about solving their own problems.
Like waiting for cosmic intervention instead of taking action.
That's the worry for some critics.
Yeah.
That it could lead to a disconnect from practical reality.
Valid points to consider. It's clearly a concept that evokes strong feelings, both positive and negative.
Definitely. It's wrapped up in mystery, hope, personal experience on one side, and met with skepticism and calls for evidence on the other. Until or unless science can somehow validate it, views are likely to remain diverse.
So, what's the future look like for this idea? Where might things go?
Well, people who believe in it continue to explore through personal practice, research, and related fields. There's always hope that breakthroughs, maybe in quantum physics, neuroscience, AI, could shed new light.
Finding new clues.
Perhaps. Or even, the prospect of discovering extraterrestrial intelligence. That could dramatically reshape our understanding of intelligence in the cosmos.
A galactic community.
Imagine. And people will continue searching for better ways to connect, to potentially use this understanding to improve human life. It's driven by hope, really. The hope that there's more to reality, more connection, more possibility.
An ongoing quest, driven by that fundamental human curiosity and hope. This has been incredibly illuminating, covering so much ground.
It's a huge topic.
It really is. And it leaves us, and you listening, with that big question to ponder. How do you see it? Do you perceive or experience something like cosmic intelligence in your own life? Maybe the ideas we talked about today resonate, maybe they don't, but hopefully it's given you food for thought.
Definitely worth contemplating.
Our aim, as always, was to give you that deep dive, that shortcut to understanding a complex and, I think, truly fascinating subject.